Vibrillionaire soul greetings and soul blessings, beautiful Vibrillionaire soul family. Loving, living the Vibrillionaire lifestyle all day, every day, 24/7. This message is being brought to you by Samadhi, Sea of Wisdom, Meditation Online School with Alice and Michael in Yuma, Arizona. Where you already know. If you've heard us, we remind you every day that it's not about, because we remind ourselves. It's not just we remind you, we remind ourselves as well. That it's not only about positivity, it's not only about negativity. It's about genuineness. It's about the realness. It's about the real you, the genuine you, the authentic you. The you that really, really resides deep in your heart. And today's message is something very, very I've stayed quiet long enough, so I'm going to be sharing some things that I desire to share. And my wife is a lovely reminder, where she reminds me to breathe. So I'm going to take a moment, because it's not so much about the importance of the message, it's the importance of the vibration behind the message. And many of us have forgotten that. So I'm going to take the time that if you'd like to join me, I invite you to join me. So let's just take a moment to breathe. Just take a moment to breathe in this moment. This beautiful, beautiful moment of awareness. This beautiful moment of life. Of this present moment. This exact moment that we are in right now. Let's really breathe that in. Let's really breathe all of it, of its concentrated version of this present moment. Let's just take it in right now. Just breathe it in. It's beautiful. It's divine. It's genuine. This moment, right now, is genuine. The question is, are we really experiencing the genuineness that it is? Or are we in our heads? Are we in our thoughts? Are we in our emotions? Are we in our perspectives? Or are we present? Are we present with this present moment? It's that simple. So, just take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to breathe in this moment. And let's just be still for one moment. Just take in this moment. There's no rush. There's one thing that I share with our students in our sessions is this is the most important practice of any session. Is to be present. Is to be conscious. Is to be aware. Is to be here now. Like the great Ram Dass that is in all of our hearts says. Remember, be here now. There's no good to be here tomorrow, now, meaning you're worried about the future. There's no good or no sense of being here in the past, a year ago, or a minute ago, or a day ago. Remember to be here now. Be here now in this precise moment. This moment is the gold. This moment is what it's all about. This moment is calling us to be present. So be here now. Because if we're not here now, there's no point. Are we present? Are we truly present? So let's just be still. Thank you for sharing that moment of stillness with me, because I used to start all the videos, every single video, with breathing and being quiet, and I noticed some people would say, Michael, I don't have time and this whatever. And then I started just talking. But even if we just take a moment just to take one breath, just one breath, is that too much? Is that too much to not invest in ourselves with that one breath? It's worth every moment to be in that one breath. Because that's what we search for. That's what we wait. That's what we work hard for. That's what we get so distracted for that one moment. Because we look for it in things. We look for it in people. We look for it in opportunities and in promotions and in success. In all these different, even though they're great things, but it's still not it. We still fall short. And that's what really, when we've been told we fall short, which it's called sin, when we fall short, it's forgetting our nature. It's not remembering to be here now. It's not remembering to take in this full moment as it is right now, at its purest, concentrated form. It will never be like this again, in this precise moment. But it is truly eternal in every moment. So, with that being said, let's continue. I'm inviting some people to join us. I wish I can invite everybody, because this is a very, very distilled message that came to me in meditation. And I want to share it with every one of you guys. So, the message is this. The message is really remember to be here now. That's the greatest message. And I'm going to hop out really quick. I'm going to hop back in because my text just disappeared. And I had it right on the corner. So give me 1 second, okay? So the message is this. I get asked time and time again, and I stayed quiet very, very for a long time, because what I see happening in the world is really the world that I investigated, and I realized how what everybody's starting to realize is what I read about. And I know I've told you guys before. Blessings on Annie Sanchez, Jennifer Horspool, Serena Escobar, Sonia Raquel Garcia Marin. Blessings, thank you for joining us. So I've said before that when I was in prison, I studied the government and I studied how things are really going on. So I'm not going to go into detail about that. If you guys want to know more, you guys can message me on a private basis. You guys can, sign up as a student, either on a group or on an individual level. But my point is this, that I stay quiet long enough because I see so many people, especially because I've been getting questions of, what religion are you? What political party are you? What is your like, who are you believing is the next president? All this stuff, right? And the thing about it is I really want to clear the air, and I've included a link to a video that I did 4 years ago on President's Day, and it's going to really explain my view on politics, on if people ask me who I'm voting for the next president. And I'm going to clear the air very, very clearly. I don't vote, because I don't want to vote at a party, because I vote for you. This is why I do what I do, because I vote for me. I vote for me every single day. And in voting for me, of course, you love yourself, you love everybody. So I vote for you. I desire everybody to be a leader. I desire everybody to lead from their hearts. So I vote for you. I want you to be the next president of your life. And imagine if everybody took the time to vote for themselves. And then they would be living the example of what it means to be united within, to be united without, to be at peace within, to manifest peace without, to be in love with themselves, to manifest love all around. Because, like I said, you can watch the video because I explain it very clearly there, and I have much more. But we're looking for leaders. We are looking to co-create leaders. We want you to be the leader of your life. Let me drink my juice real quick.
Of all the days, I don't take my
Shout outs to my wife for Juice Garden, because I love my juices. That's another way to vote for yourself, is when you drink these juices, you're voting for yourself because you're awakening that energy within you. You're reawakening that energy within you. So juicing, eating holistically, is a way to vote for yourself. I need your phone.
Okay, I do need to...
So, this is the message that I wanted to share. Is when I'm asked what religion am I, when I'm asked what political party, who do I want to vote for, and out of coincidence the elections are coming up. Carmen, bendiciones. Is I vote for humanity. And this is not just the here in the United States. I'm saying globally. Because the thing about it is that for anybody that knows me, is I live and I breathe to vote for you, for humanity. I desire to give everything that I can before I go from this world, in this physical body, to vote for humanity. I desire to leave humanity a much greater place than when I started. In my own life. I can't change the world. I can only change my world. But imagine if every single person changed their world. Or imagine if 10% of the world changed their world from the inside out. And, if you need the phone.
I just need to see it.
And if you realize what's going on in the world right now, it's because we're in a shift. A very small, infantile percentage of less than 1% have been doing their shadow work, their subconscious reprogramming. And that's affecting it globally. So imagine if more and more of us, instead of rejecting that opportunity, we invite it. Imagine if more and more people did that subconscious reprogramming, did that shadow work, did that inner work. Imagine what we would do in this world. Instead of being distracted, which I know that I'm going to probably offend some people, but I'm not offending you, I'm offending your belief. I'm not offending you, I'm offending the way that you've been taught to believe that that's how we're going to change the world. And we say, and these people promise to deliver all these things. And they sound good as they promise it. But then when it comes time to action, time to act, when they're in office, when they're in that candidacy, and they get elected, 9 times out of 10, they don't deliver. It's just, they sell, but when they get that place, they don't deliver. So, this is insanity. Waiting and depending on some structure to change, instead of transforming our structure. So, I forgot to mention that this is a reminder, a daily reminder to ground for life. So, if you please ground for life, because that's another way to vote for humanity. Because that's letting the world know that you are part of this experience. That you are in it for the world. You are one with the world. You are here with us. So, instead of waiting for another president, instead of waiting for another person to go into power and change the world, you are that power. You are what the world has been waiting for. So, this is what I want to invite you to do. I want to invite you to vote for yourself. Because in this world that we wait for leadership, we forget that we are here to lead ourselves. So, my religion, my political party, who I vote for, is you, is me, is us. And no, I'm not running for president, because if anybody says, what? I mean, if I was able to qualified, I would run for president. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not qualified to run for president because I don't know. Well, I know they got their assistants and all that, right? So maybe I am. I don't know. So if you guys, and I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. If anybody wants me to run, I will run, and if I fail, at least I tried. Because that's why the majority of humanity doesn't show up, doesn't do what we were called to do because they're afraid of failure. So, I've taken the most challenging office that is known to humankind, which even great kings and leaders of empire have said. Lao Tzu said that it is more challenging to master oneself than it is to control an empire. So, I've gained more mastery within myself that I am qualified in a way to run a presidency, but not that I would want to, because I leave that for those that are desiring to do that. But here's my point. Let's elect them with our way of being. Let's elect them with our way of being. Let's elect them with our example. Because if you live in peace, if you live in love, if you live in joy, if you live in unity within yourself, you're going to put an energy out there in the world that this is the world that we desire. So when you live with intentions, in intention, that's how you vote. A vote is a volt. It's a volt of energy. We are creating our energy field. We are co-creating our energy field. So, instead of watching the news, instead of watching the confusion, co-creating and participating and adding to more confusion, why not be the news and be the solution within your life and in the world around you? You want peace? Be peace. You want unity? Be united within yourself. You want love? Love yourself unconditionally. You want life? Die to what no longer serves you. Be reborn to who and what you are here to remember to be. This is how we are going to reawaken the world to who and what it truly was designed to be. All of you are beautiful. All of you are special. All of you are brilliant. All of you are divine. And when we take our energy and we spend our energy in judging what we don't want and what we see in others. For example, we see criminals, we see people doing all kinds of bad things, and we say, oh, look at them, they're bad. Instead of saying, wait a minute, why is there bad, or why is there bad in my world? And not really why is there bad in my world, but really more importantly, why am I feeling this right now? Because the moment that you take that responsibility of why you're feeling that in the moment, then that's the moment that you transform it within yourself. You can't transform other people's behaviors, but you can transform the way that you react by responding to what you see in the world. Because 9 times out of 10, when somebody sees somebody get hurt, they unconsciously like it. Because they unconsciously look to see more of it. Because if that wasn't true, the news wouldn't be so successful. If that wasn't true, violence wouldn't be such a very in-demand entertainment. If that wasn't true, then degrading women by seeing them abused and naked wouldn't be in demand. If you ask what sells, it's violence, it's sex, and it's there's 3. Violence, sex, and drugs, but manipulation. Because if we watch most of the majority of the movies, it's a manipulation that at the end they find the truth. So, what I'm getting at is this, is what we're seeing in the majority of the world is what we've been unconsciously asking for. And instead of stepping up within ourselves, so we see violence, and we want somebody else to change it. And we want to judge others for that violence. Instead of saying, wait a minute, why am I feeling it? Why am I reacting to violence? why am I not taking responsibility of why am I feeling violence? Because of the fact that you're feeling violence is because you're a participatory factor component in the violence, in the sex, in the manipulation, in the deception. The only way there's so much deception in the world is because we've contributed and participated in it. And that's why I said this is going to be a little controversial, because it's not just about being positive and saying, oh yeah, my positivity is going to change the world. No. It's taking responsibility for what we've created, what we've co-created, and transforming it within ourselves, that we react less and we respond more. Blessings, Virginia Flores. Blessings, Brian Oteano Owino. Carmen Salcido, blessings. So, instead of voting for the next president, instead of voting for the next governor, instead of voting for the next leader that really doesn't even know how to lead themselves, because if you ask me, the majority of leadership today, they're not leaders. They're followers. They followed so many people to attain a label of leadership. Because most leaders are not leading from their hearts. We want leaders, people. We need to be the example of leadership and co-create other leaders. That's why Samadhi is looking for the next co-creators, the desire to take the Samadhi experience, to take the Samadhi journey. We are co-creating leadership. We're not just being leaders in ourselves. We're co-creating leaders. You want to tap into the greatest version of leading from yourself? Let us know. We're going to start our groups very soon. We're also taking private, what is it called? Excuse me. I'm not the greatest talker, but I talk from my heart. So, we're looking, and you know what reminds me, love? Is when the Marines or the Army or whatever it is, they say, we're looking for a few good men. Samadhi is looking for a few genuine souls that are ready and willing to lead from their hearts, that are ready and willing to step into the uncomfortness and the challenges and the confusion and say, you know what? I'm taking full responsibility and I'm going to transform it within myself. We're looking for leaders. We're looking for leadership, to co-create leadership, to co-create leaders, to be the leaders within us, to co-create and inspire other people to lead. Because leadership does not threaten Ali and Michael. Leadership should not threaten you. Because you know what's threatening this world is followers. Followers are very dangerous. Because what they do is they model and they copy what they think is right, what they think is good, what they think is better. And what is this created? This has created wars. This has created separation. This has created confusion. This has created chaos. Leadership does not and cannot create chaos, confusion, wars, and separation. Because leaders lead from example. They don't lead and say, this is what you should do, this is how you should do it if you want to be like me. No, look at my example. Look at what I'm doing. And I'm not just talking the talk, I'm walking the walk. Because most leaders talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And that was me. That was me years ago. So, I know it seems like everything is falling apart right now. I know it seems like the world is just going into like shattered and scrambled and all this stuff. But let me tell you, it's coming together perfectly. And you might think I'm crazy for saying this, but things have got to fall apart for things to come together. And I've been asked, what do I think about what's happening today? And I say, you know what? You ask my wife, she would ask me, Michael, I want to know what you know. Because I knew the world was so corrupt. I knew the world was so, confused in chaos. But just because it looked good on a camera, just because it looked good on pictures, just because it looked good on what people would talk about, I'm seeing what I've been seeing, but I wasn't talking about, because I don't want to talk about what's going wrong with the world, because we can have that conversation. But what I want to share about is what's going so right with the world. What's going so right with you. Because there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm going to say it because I come from that world. There's nothing wrong with people, even what they're doing that is so bad and so wrong. Even great leaders that are leading in confusion because they're hurting so many people. That's because they're hurting themselves. That's because they're hurting inside. And hurt people hurt people. It's one thing my wife taught me, or reminded me, that hurt people hurt people. Because if you're not hurt, you're not going to hurt. This is why we're co-creating leadership. Because when you lead from your heart and you love yourself, you unite with yourself, you're in peace with yourself, you're not going to take away from the world. Well, you are, but you're not. You're going to take away the confusion. You're going to take away the chaos. You're going to take away the separation. You're going to take away the destruction of the world, because you're going to add to the peace, to the love, to the joy, to the brilliance, to the joy, to the love, to the life in the world. So, let me rephrase that. Because being a leader does take away from the world. It takes away what it's not. But it adds and it magnifies what it is. It's like when someone wins the lottery and they think money is going to be the answer. And if we see people that won the lottery, they lose it within 2 to 3 years. Because their consciousness is not matured enough to embrace that incredible manifestation. So, money is not the solution. Having things is not the solution. Getting somewhere is not the solution. It's remembering to be here now. Because just like I said in the beginning of the video, if anything that you got out of today's video is remember to be here now. Shout outs to Ram Dass. Shout outs to his teacher, his leader, that taught him to lead himself. Is shout outs to all those that are leading from their hearts. Shout outs to every single one of you that are reawakening and remembering who you are. Shout outs to you. Shout outs for doing the work that very few are willing to do. Because this is the work. This is the adventure. This is the play. This is the blessing. This is what we came here to do. To remember who we are. To dance with our shadow. To dance with our chaos. To dance with our confusion. To dance with our most resistant, our most challenging side of us, which is really us. And that's it. If you think about it, if you can dance, and this is my last part for today. So if you like to join the Samadhi groups, if you like to join the Samadhi leadership training individually or private classes, which is a whole nother level, but our groups are designed to help those that are financially challenged. So if you're financially challenged and you want to start with the groups, then let's do it. And if you're able to invest in yourself to really awaken the leaders that you are and take our private classes, please let us know. We're here to serve. And I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of leaders out there, entrepreneurs. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of people that are influencers and go-getters that are needing this leadership to realize you are a leader. It's not how many followers you have. It's not how much money you have in the bank. It's not how much homes or cars or things that you have attained or manifested. Because that's not leadership. Leadership is you leading from your heart. Leading from the source of your being. Leading from where you were designed and destined to lead. From your heart, the soul, the essence, the center of your being. So, remember the ground for life. Remember Nature's Inner Gathering tomorrow in English, part 25 at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Spanish, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we are going to remind humanity how to align with nature. So, we love you all. We don't wish you the best, because we know the best version of you that is you, because we are discovering it within ourselves. That's how we know who you are. And not that we know who you are because we are still discovering who we are to this day, but we know more of who you are. So if you need mentorship, if you need guidance, if you need to be reminded, and you would like to step into that, please let us know. We're here to serve on a whole nother level, because we walk the walk. The talk that we talk, we walk it. We live it. This is the Vibrillionaire lifestyle. So, stop watching the news. Stop giving so much attention to what's going wrong with the world. Because remember, whatever you give your attention to is what you're going to participate in. You're going to ask more of. Because it doesn't matter how much upset you get. It doesn't matter how righteous you feel of getting upset, getting like, even talking with other people, even doing lives and talking about what's going wrong with the world, you're adding to it. And that's the controversy that I wanted to talk about today. Do you want to add to it? Or do you want to take away from what's going on and alchemize it, transform it by reminding humanity who they truly are? So if you're a leader, if you're an influencer, if you're a mentor, if you're an entrepreneur, remind people who they are. Remind people what they're capable of. Remind people what really is going on. Don't give attention to all this that is being transformed, because that's why it's showing up. So, we got much more videos of what we're going to talk about, but if you really want to know more, sign up, because we're going to dive deeper than we ever dived before. Because if you want to know, this is the world I awoke into, the conspiracy theories, everything what everybody's finding out right now, I read about, I knew about 15 years ago. Oh, over 20 years ago. I started finding this. I started finding everything that's going on right now over 20 years ago. So, I'm going to tell you that I almost lost my mind. I almost lost my sanity because I thought I needed to know more. When I realized it was about finding myself, reawakening and remembering myself, that's when my life changed. So, I'm telling you from personal experience, personal testimony, is find more of yourself in the chaos. Remember more of yourself in the chaos. Remember, remind yourself, re-heart yourself with your heart in the chaos, in the confusion, in the challenges. And your life will never be the same. And those around you will never be the same. Because you are the revolution to involve yourself in the evolvement of your life. Blessings. You want to say anything, love? We love you. And we are here for you. More than you can ever even imagine. Namaste.